Season 5, Episode 2, the backward guest. And I just wrote it the second time of the old one I wrote, because I like to have it really dark, because the title should be dark.
Yeah.
Okay, so the backward guest, we're going to have the bed, nice and firm. The guest is backwards, so their feet are going to be next to our head. So put little socks on her, and we have the diagram here.
Yeah.
Head to toe.
One pillow for each of us, 2 pillows.
For her, that's a total of 4 pillows. 4 pillows total. Welcome, Pillow fans. This is Season 5, Episode 2. Glad to have you back. We're going to continue this season with another episode about experimentalism and its place in modern society. Experimental things are things that are different, strange, foreign to the world that you thought you knew. Humans move forward with progress. That's achieved through experimentalism. What happens when experimentalism goes awry, takes us backwards? Backwards things are just as important as forward things, and they're closely intertwined in experimentalism. Today we're going to focus on the backwards of things. And no better way to do that than to have a backwards guest. Oh, and also, I should say that was a very different intro. I usually start standing up in the couch area, or I try and find some sort of landscape scene, but this time I was in bed already because we're experimenting with different formats. And so the intro was not even really an intro because I'm beside you.
Exactly. It was actually part of the episode itself.
It's part of the episode.
In a way.
Yeah.
It was backwards but forwards at the same time. And if you will notice, what do we have here in between us? These are a pair of socks on a pair of feet. And usually the guest would be in between us, and there would be 4 pillows here.
Can you see the feet right now?
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah. They blend in so well.
Right, I also have my glasses.
But now it's the time of the backwards guest. And we have a very special person to be on as a backward guest. She is one of the greatest people that I've ever met. Her name is Maya.
I'm going to turn it around. Let's put this here. Maya, are you excited to be here right now?
I'm very excited. I'm a little bit nervous too, but I'm excited.
And why are you so nervous? Besides the number of subscribers and the number of views, and the fact there's a camera here, and also the fact that you're backwards in a bed.
I like that I'm backwards. That's making me a lot less nervous, I think.
What does being backwards make you think about?
Well, in this situation, I feel like I'm not backwards at all. I actually can face you guys. Better communication. I don't know if that's how I feel about normal backwards, but this backwards feels like a good backwards.
Does it remind you of any particular movies? I'm thinking of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And why is that?
Backwards bed. Oh,
yeah.
It's nice and cozy.
It's nice and cozy. And who's in that bed?
Grandpa.
Grandpa Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a great aunt.
Uh-huh. No.
Charlie.
It's the 2 grandparents.
2 grandparents.
It's the 2 sets of grandparents.
Charlie. Siblings.
No siblings. No siblings. And we're going to bring it back to us because this guest format is a little bit different because she's backwards. We have to turn the camera around. So I'm bringing it back to Van and I because
it's time for the first question.
Okay, question 1. How many backwards people do you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is so good. That is so good.
I can't wait to see the look on her face when she takes the camera, when we hand her the camera and she's holding it.
And then you ask that.
Do you know?
Yeah.
So Maya, you know a lot of people. You know a lot of different kinds of people, young people, old people, cool people, nerdy people, people that have a lot of money, people that are poor, people that travel a lot, people that stay at home, people that like to stay inside, people that like to go outdoors, people that like to watch movies, people that like to watch TV shows. But how many backwards people do you know? That's the question.
How many backwards people do I know? You know, I don't know that many backwards people. Also, I don't know how you guys are defining backwards. You want to clarify that for me?
No.
No. All right.
But I think it is pretty natural, and it's exactly what you were going towards.
Whatever you think.
Yeah, when someone asks you, how many backwards people do you know, what is the first thing you think about?
Well, it's negative. I think that's a negative thing, and I don't know that many. And I'm thinking like maybe politically backwards, socially backwards, people who are more comfortable in the past than looking towards the future. I don't feel like I personally know that many backwards people in that sense. But I do know people who cling on to the past, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're thinking about it just in terms of like in memory.
And what movie does that remind you of, clinging on to the past?
Ooh.
Any particular person?
No.
Final Destination.
Final Destination.
Final Destination.
Exactly. So that was a great question.
Final Destination reminds me of hanging on to the past, because the person who is being attacked in Final Destination, the group of people that are near death through the whole movie, they are hiding from, they're trying to survive something from the past. So in a big sense, they're clinging on to the past, and that is what is hurting them. And that's why the bad things are happening.
I have a different movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I think Paris, Texas is a good guy clinging on to the past. He tries to find his ex-wife. He tries to find this place where he was conceived. And he has his son, and it has a nice little juxtaposition of the son, and that's his future, but this guy is always wandering looking for his past.
Okay. I think that both are good, but I do think that Final Destination is a better choice for a movie that represents what you were talking about.
There's more people.
There's more people involved. Yeah,
and
exactly.
All equally thinking
exactly.
about the past.
But I respect the idea. So your second question here.
Q2. Second question.
How many backwards people do you know? What's the most backwards thing you've ever done? What's the most backwards thing? What's the most backward thing you've ever
That might
done?
put her in too much of a compromising situation. I think, what's the most backwards thing? No, you're right. Okay, what's the most...
I think it's right. I think
that's
it's right.
right.
I think it's the right way to go. What's the most backward thing that you've ever done?
You've done a lot of things in your life, right? You've grown up a lot. You've gotten older. You've gone to school. You've gotten jobs. You've made friends. You've gone on walks. You've held hands with people. You've said I'm sorry. You've said I love you. You said I hate you. You said I'm sorry. But what of all those things that you've done in your life is the most backwards?
What is the most backwards? I would say...
And this is PG, not even 13, just PG. I send this to a lot of my students. So it can't be anything where you're drinking or smoking and you get sick and you have to go to the hospital. Nothing like that.
Okay. I think I'm going to go back to thinking about backwards in terms of memory and your past, and so maybe not apologize. I've taken a long time to apologize to people and have been upset with people for a while, and maybe that's the most backwards thing that I've ever done.
Great.
Good, very good. Okay.
Very good.
We have to get through the third question.
The final third question.
What's the most forward thing that you look for in a person? Oh, yeah. Okay, that's.
What are forward things that you look for in a person?
What are forward thinking? But it's not about forward. It's about backwards. This whole thing's about backwards.
Yeah. But backwards is the other side of forwards.
I know.
So I think
I know.
we can talk about forwards
I know.
in that way.
I know.
But you don't think it's good
I
to
don't
end
know.
with
Like, you know,
forwards?
when we were season 3, when we were talking about bodies, we talked about bodies. We didn't talk about the
Antibodies.
antibodies.
We talked about bodies and bodies,
Yeah.
right? So backwards of backwards.
Backwards
Well,
is
backwards of
backwards.
backwards
We
is
can do a
forward.
forwards episode.
No, but backwards of backwards is forwards.
That's actually really good. That's really
That's
good.
what we'll
That's
do.
really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Now, the backwards of backward is forward. When you go backward from being backward, you go forward. So we're going
If
to
you're
be
facing backwards and someone says that you should turn backwards, then some part of you would be...
going forwards. So now we're going to talk a little bit about forwards. Now, what are the most forward things that you're looking for in a person? When you look at a person, you want to say, hey, can I be friends with this person? Can I be lovers with this person? Do I want to be with this person? That person probably has a lot of forward things about them. What are some of the forward things that you look for in a person that you like?
All right. Curiosity. Constantly questioning, because I think that just means you're trying to learn more, grow more, progress. So yeah, that would be the, I think, main thing. Someone's curious. Yeah.
One thing that is people think is forwards is tax cuts for the poor, or tax increases for the poor, but that is backwards. The most important thing is RTI, and that is right to income, and that is more forwards and less backwards than what any people could suggest.
On behalf of everyone here, we wish you the most pleasant day you're having, whether it's backwards or forwards, and as usual.
I just came up with a good idea for editing. How we could do it is it's pretty
We
experimental.
only have 14 minutes left on this, but I can delete something.
Okay.
Else. Yeah.
It's pretty experimental, but
What was it?
so we're showing this intro thing that we're doing right now because we're filming this.
And then John's intro?
No, John's intro first,
Oh, yeah.
and then this, and then we talk about what's the first question, you know, and then it goes to us asking the first question, and then it comes back to this intro, and it talks about us asking a question,
And we move through this.
and we move
chronologically.
through this chronologically. Yeah, that is so.
That is such a good idea.
Such an experimental
That is
thing
so
too, because
experimental.
it's different timelines. It's forwards, then backwards in time.
And then we could show this section
Yeah,
in
exactly.
at the end.
Exactly.
So then it's explained why we chose this post-production
And
technique.
it's backwards.
And it's backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
You're getting the info backwards.
Exactly. You're getting it backwards.
That's perfect.